Villarreal in their all-yellow strip. Ash Mariba let that run. He's hit that on the turn. A bit of doubt there from the goalkeeper. Conde's been beaten. There's still work to do. It's come loose to Borja Iglesias. It's across the line. And he scores for Celta Vigo. Villarreal 0, Celta Vigo 1. The Panda pops up with a goal. To the middle. Little header onto the back post. There is the equaliser for Villarreal. Maradona, one of the new signings for Villarreal. He scores his first goal. It's a right-footed drive into the net. And Celta Vigo are back in front. Oscar Mingueza. He loves to strike from that kind of distance. We saw Danjuma cut a lonely figure. Wasn't hard for Mingueza to beat. He was once so important for Celta Vigo. Tapia now plying his trade at Leganés after leaving Celta in the summer. Hook back into the middle. It was being set up. And that ball lifted in. Goes to the left, put back into the mix. Parejo misreads the bounce. Here's the run around his marker. Ball played to the back post. It was a simple tap in from Jose Perez. Great run there with the nutmeg pass.
5 goals shared between Villarreal and Celta Vigo yesterday. Of course, Villarreal won the game by 3 goals to 2. On that note, I welcome you to yet another interesting edition. The Tuesday edition of Sport Today on the biggest for the platform on 103.5 FM. Broadcasting live from the beautiful city of Ibadan. Here we say the latest and the biggest. Making the round in the world of sport. Trending stories coming from the world of football this morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, we have the latest news, of course, the new coach also, as we announced later this morning. We'll talk about all the games, or all the trending stories coming from the world of sport. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. Of course, you can simply call me Purity. Guess what? I'm not the only one in the studio. I get my 2 wise men, and together we'll be on a drive. We have Captain in the house this morning. Good morning to you, Captain. Welcome to Sport Today.
Well, beautiful morning to you. Ayomikun Adeniyi. Time to talk sport on 103.5 FM. This is what we do. This is the station where we bring on biased sport analysis and, of course, undiluted reportage. Thank you once again for joining us. Samson Balogun is my name. They call me the official sports captain on radio.
Good morning to you, Damola.
Good morning, Purity. Good morning, IBCT. Good morning, our various listeners. It's your boy, Ade Damola.
All right, this morning, let's go straight to action because of our time. Yes, we have the news from the NFF after several back and forth concerning the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, we have a chairman, Bruno Alaba, there as the new head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Moving forward, where should we start from here?
I think basically when you look at the portfolio of the coach that is coming on board right now, you would understand the fact that this is one of the things we have been clamoring for in recent times. You need a coach with an idea, a coach with a track record, proven track record, if I may call that. And you have to understand the fact that aside from that, the experience actually counts. You know, being one of the biggest sporting nations in the world. I don't want to say in Africa, in the world, because we are the best in Africa. In Africa, you have to understand that pool of talent that abounds in Nigeria. You know, if you want to harness that, you need someone with the idea of what it means to be a coach. And when you look at the teams he has actually coached, you understand exactly VfL Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, and a host of other things like that. You would understand exactly where this is coming from. I think for once, the NFF has actually had the cry of many Nigerians, football lovers, that you don't just bring us a high school coach. You bring us a coach that understands what it means to be at the helms of affairs of the Super Eagles. And I must say, this is actually commendable from the NFF. But then, this is just the first phase of what we expect them to do. And I think right now, they should just give him the free hand to operate the job, to operate. Sometimes it is one thing to get the job. It is another thing for you to give him, all the necessary materials you will be needing to carry out your responsibilities. But right now, everything should be handed over to the coach. There's no point interfering in the affairs of how they select players, where they play their friendlies, which team they play. I think these are the things that should be left alone for the coach and the technical committee to decide. You know, in recent times we have had issues with FIFA, we have had issues with CAF saying the government actually they meddle in the affairs of football in Nigeria. I think right now this is a time to stabilize. Don't forget we have a World Cup qualifiers, we have African Cup of Nations qualifiers at time. These are things we should be looking at right now. And the main focus should be how we get into these competitions without doing mathematics like we used to do. You know, if Senegal beats you know, this 2 + 2 is equal to 3. This is not what we want right now. We just want a straightforward kind of situation where we know we have actually qualified and that's it.
All right, talking about you commending the NFF, I mean, so many people have been raising questions based on the performance of this coach in the recent year because he's focusing on club football. He has zero experience when it comes to national team. Bringing him to the realm of affair, even coupled with the situation we have in the Super Eagles of Nigeria, we know we are still struggling to get the ticket to the World Cup. Of course, we still having Benin Republic up front next month. All this issue, bringing a coach with zero experience in country football.
Well, I think it is not limited to country football. It is also about African football. How well does he know African football? These are the things they must have put in place, and they must have actually gone to check his track records. How many times has he actually played with African players in his teams in recent times? If he has actually had the experience of playing with African players in his teams, I think that gives him an idea of how we do it in Africa. You know, sometimes it is not about how many years you have been doing this. It's about if you have the expertise required to do the job. Judging about his portfolio, I think he has the needed experience as a coach. But now all that is left is for him to understand how we do it in Africa. I think that is not a thing that anyone brings from heaven. It's one thing you learn on the job. Wherever you have quality players who have actually been doing it in Europe, nothing stops them from repeating the feat of what they have actually been doing over there in Europe, right here in Africa. So all these excuses about if he has the experience of coaching African players, coaching on African continent, or if he has experience about national team football, I think that should be put aside right now. All he needs is the support of the NFF, of the fans, of the players when called up. So right now, it's not just about the experience in that area. It's about the general aspect of what he brings to the table. I think having a coach like Labadia on the sidelines actually gives you some of the confidence that is required against your opponent, especially other African countries who are also parading high school coaches like we used to do.
All right, let's focus on the timing now, Damola. We have a game next month. Benin Republic, we're playing Benin Republic and Rwanda right there in Kigali. Let's talk about the timing of appointing this new coach, with the fact that we'll be struggling with getting results right there in our past game. We saw what happened against Benin Republic in the World Cup qualifier, which we lost that game. First time ever Benin Republic defeated Nigeria. Moving forward, we are playing Benin Republic and Rwanda. One home game, one away game. What is wrong with the timing?
The timing is very, very, very wrong. The timing of getting a new coach, and which is also a foreign coach. To me, he just got the job, and I have not seen him doing his job. But considering his past profile, him working with 2 clubs and being sacked within 2 years and a few months, that was his last 2 jobs. And this is African football, and we all know African football is totally different from club football and even national football. We could see what happened during the CAF Football Confederation Cup, CAF Nations Cup. So, but I just think if Nigeria NFF are serious, because to me, I believe the former France woman team is the best qualified. Averna. I actually wanted him to be the coach, but since this morning NFF came out this month to tell us now that we have a new German coach, I just pray it won't be deja vu of 2006 when Betty Vogts was also a German coach and didn't take us to the World Cup. Well, let's just wait and see. And Benin Republic, their coach was former Nigerian coach who knows much about our team, and this new coach is just coming, and with what Rwanda also did in their last 2 qualifier matches, they are not joking. So I'm not expecting much from him, but let's just see and wait for his process.
All right, Captain, my biggest fear now is how to manage of the whole situation in that Super Eagles team. We saw what Osimhen did to Finidi. Now, how do you think he will be able to manage the Osimhen situation, the Boniface situation, and of course the NFF situation?
Well, I think the only thing we should be worrying about is the issue he's going to have with the NFF while on the job. I don't think he's going to have any issue with Victor Osimhen, Boniface, and the host of other African stars in the team. Why I said that is because when you look at majority of Nigerian players, they actually accord more respect to white men when they find them in the team. They really do not give that much respect to veteran Nigerian players, legends who actually were given the opportunity to actually spearhead the affairs of the team, especially like Finidi George. We could remember when Sunday Olise came on board. Austin Eguavon at the point had issues with some Nigerian players. Even Stephen Keshi had his fair share of disrespect from some of these Nigerian players. So it is not new. It is nothing new. What Finidi George actually experienced is nothing that is new, just that social media was not this prevalent at the time, so we didn't really have a social media outburst at the time, but then we had some players talking back at their coaches. But what I know for sure is the fact that most of these coaches, what they do is when they bring you on board to come and play for the Super Eagles and they realize you are going to be a cancer in the system, they just they excuse you. That's what they do. We have seen some situations where some key players were frozen out of the team at one particular time or the other, in the history of the Super Eagles. So it's not going to be new. But one thing I'm quite sure of is the fact that these players are going to respect this coach because they know exactly where he's coming from. That is one. How he's going to manage the NFF now depends on his expertise, on how he has been managing his previous employers. But it's going to be a little bit different here because we know there are some things we cannot be talking about. There are some discussions. Go and check. There is no contract on how much he's going to get.
I was still going there.
So
the details of the contract is not made known to public. I mean, the salary. The salary. The year of contract and several other things.
Ayomikun, this is Nigeria. This is the only place where a conference was organized and the outcome of that conference was not made to the general public. And it's about our football. It's about our money. You are allocating our money to some people and we don't even know how much you are spending and how much you are getting back. Sometimes when sponsors come in for some of these sporting parastatals, you discover the fact that you just hear these monies just by hearing them, audio money. But where these monies are going, we don't even know. Just recently, they were going to the Olympics. We didn't know how much they were going to spend at the Olympics. But when they were coming back without a medal, they told us they spent 12 billion naira. This is something that really should be looked into. Books should be checked, and perpetrators of monetary frauds should be brought to justice. This is nothing new. This is what we have been saying. But if he's going to manage them, I know for a fact that he must have had an agent that told him how to get the job from the NFF. And if they have told you how to get the job, they should tell you how to manage them, because there must be a manual with which you use to deal with the NFF. Because every now and then they bring their problems. What we experience in these cases. But then, if this contract is not going to be made public, then where is the transparency that we have been talking about? We should know how much our coach is earning. And how much at the point they told us, was it not during the era of Genoro? He was the one paying his assistants. They paid you. You are the contractor. So you be the one to pay.
Take this amount, then you say to your guys.
When is that even done? That is because they are running away from contracts for these people. So they don't want to have multiple contracts. So they gave the contract to one person. So why not engage these people separately? Even if I am coming with I'm coming to take the job, and I'm coming with recommendations like I want to work with this particular goalkeeper trainer, I want to work with this fitness coach. They should have their separate contracts. That's where some of these people are told to go, man. Nothing is being done. How come an assistant coach will be told to step aside, no contract cancellation, nothing? It's just being told to leave the team. How? So this should be a case that should be properly looked into. We can't just have a coach and we don't even know how much he gets, and some of the freedoms that have been given to him as regards the team. This should be made public, please.
All right, still talking about transparency this time around. Just yesterday we saw Shooting Stars of Ibadan winning 9 players. Come on, we'll talk about that after this short commercial break. And of course we look into Nicola Jackson and Mikel Obi trending stories. Don't go anywhere. You're still on to Sport Today on 103.5 FM.
103.5 FM.
The essence of interior design will always be about people and how they live. It is about the realities of what makes for an attractive, civilized, and meaningful home environment. This is our foremost concern at Mr. Johnson Furniture and Interior Decoration.